Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here, and it's monthly Masterboard challenge time. Beginning of a new month, time for a new Masterboard challenge. So, what are we doing today? Today, I am going with the theme of maps, and the technique is a one I came up with a couple of weeks back. So it's not so long since I've done it, and Mari, your suggestion to do it for the monthly Masterboard challenge was along the lines of my own thinking too. It would make a great idea for the challenge. I don't yet know what to call it, so I'm thinking I'll go with hidden seams as the technique. If you haven't caught my video on making this type of Masterboard, which, a couple of weeks ago, I think, roughly, then all will be explained. So I have chosen to use as my base today a magazine page, just shiny, regular magazine. I've already backed it with writing paper, a variety of scraps out of my bag. So ready to go with that. Size-wise, it's just a magazine page, so whatever size magazine, you can use whatever base you like. It doesn't matter. Right, so maps. Now, where to get maps from? There's a lot of sources for maps. Travel maps that you might have that are out of date. So ones that, because we use Google Maps nowadays, but you might have some paper maps from back in the day when Google wasn't around, and you don't use them anymore. So map books, atlases, an old atlas, an old encyclopedia. Often encyclopedias will have maps in them. I've got this page here out of a nature book. So as part of the nature book, it's got various maps in it. So there's that. And I've got a couple of pages actually out of that one. So kind of like a natural history book. Sometimes we'll have maps. So that's an idea. Public transportation maps. This is a map from a bus route. So you might have a train map or a bus map or a taxi, I don't know, whatever, public transport maps. You can also get these often in tourist brochures, like ones you can pick up free for tourists to find their way around the place they're visiting. So you could visit a local information centre, the bus exchange, the train exchange, wherever they've got those, if you don't already have them. And then the rest of these are all from, this one is not. This is a map of Fiji, not Fiji, Papua New Guinea. That was given to me. It's an old one. So just took a section of that. And then the rest of these now, so I'll remove that backing so you can see. These are all National Geographic maps. So they're the inserts that come in National Geographic magazines. I don't know if they still do that. This is a bunch of old ones that we were given. And what I've done is, I don't know if you can kind of see, I've gone with different maps that have different colours and textures. So this one's like heavy on the text. It's got a bit of pink. This one's like blocks of different colours. This one's got some lines and lots of different colours. This one's all yellow and blue with some red writing and some black text. The bus map is grey and white primarily. This one's got more brown. This one's quite sort of grey. This got individual colours here, little patches of colours. Now these I've torn off this bit, because this bit's mostly green, and then on the back we've got, these match up at the top and bottom, not that you can see on camera. So often your maps will have two sides that you can use to vary the textures, the colours, because we're going to be collaging, so you don't want all the same map pieces together. But if you only have one map at your disposal, don't panic. You only actually need one map. I've got lots of maps, so I'm going to use, a good selection. But you can easily take, say, perhaps this is the most boring one because it's quite neutral. take sections of it and just put them different ways around. So, you know, put a bit up the right way, a bit upside down, a bit sideways the other way. Mix it up and mix your sizes. Because we're going to be hiding the seams, it will still give you that collaged, broken up look. Okay, so if you've only got one map, don't despair, run with it, and it will, I'm sure it will still come out great. So maps. Now for the hidden seams, we're going with washi, whether it be real washi or faux washi. So I've prepared some faux washi strips, and it can be whatever paper you like, but for mine I've gone with a plain blue sheet of A4 paper because I thought there's a lot of blue in these maps. So blue is kind of my bringing it together colour. And I've simply put double-sided tape on the back and then cut out the strips. So as I said, you could use real washi if you don't want to make your own faux washi. Or you could even use like quilling strips. You know, if you've got a pack of quilling strips that you're not using, just glue them on. Or just cut strips of whatever paper and glue them on if you don't want to go to the bother of the double-sided tape. I just really love the double-sided tape, and it is an extra layer of stiffness. Okay, let's get into the collage. I think I've talked at you long enough. Let's start building. Now I have collaged the back of this with my new glue stick that cost me 70 cents, and I thought I'm going to go with that and see how it performs. So far it looks to be pretty good. So we're going to do this side with my new glue stick and see, you know, whether it's going to hold up long term. So I'm just going to start grabbing out bits of map and gluing them on. So how are you today, my friends? Have you had a good week? I'm recording this in the middle of the week, so it was like, oh yeah, this is going up on Friday. It's going to be the end of the week. Looking forward to the weekend, I hope. The day this is, I'll actually be out with hubby. He's got a recertification course for the forklift for his work, which is in the city, so he is doing that in the morning. So I'm going to go in with him and go to my mum's while he's at it, at the course, and then he's taken the rest of the day off. So we're going to do something, not quite sure yet what. We'll do something. Now this texty bit I might keep for something else. I'll just pop it aside for now. He is thinking about going maybe to the Botanic Gardens and doing some photography, because amazingly I now have ability to use my camera again. I'm so excited. I haven't used my camera for probably at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. Like, I am a photographer. I was a full-time photographer working for myself. Mainly doing stock photography, so selling photos online. And then my mobility got so bad and I was busy and I couldn't go out and take photos. And then somewhere within that period, I've mislaid my battery charger for the camera. I cannot find it, and I've been just putting off doing anything about it with the hope that I would find the camera back, the charger. And I just haven't. It just has not shown up. Frustratingly. And someone said to me, don't buy another one because it will turn up the very next day. Well, it hasn't yet. I got my new battery charger, what day? Monday? And today's Wednesday. So my old one hasn't shown up yet. And if it does, it's not the end of the world. I think to have a spare would be quite helpful, particularly given that it's been lost for years at least. So I've now charged my camera batteries. I got the camera out and gave it a little test run, you know, refamiliarized myself. I even had to reset the camera the clock on the camera because it had been so long that it had kind of lost its time, its date, been without power. So I set that and took a couple of test photos just to remind myself how to use the jolly thing. So he's thinking maybe we'll go take some photos. And it's a long time since hubby's used his camera as well. But his batteries still have power and he still knows where his battery charger is. See, this has got quite an interesting map on the back there too. So yes, quite excited. I don't know, it will depend on the weather. If it's not good weather, we won't be. But if it is good weather, you know, the Botanic Garden should be full of lots of beautiful spring flowers and spring green on the trees. So it will be a really good time to go. And it's been ages, like years, since I last went to the Botanic Gardens. So I think it's about time. I'm just going to follow where the map has been folded. Just tear it down that line. So this type of masterboard, if you want to work with the theme of the maps, would be good in a travel journal. It could also work in a nature journal or a vintage journal if you're using older maps. But really it depends. You could theme it any which way you like, depending on what you choose to decorate with. So you could easily just pop some florals or animals or vintage something or other, people, whatever you like on, and that would make it become whatever theme you like. Now I have no idea where I'm putting this piece. I just went ahead and glued it with no thought to where I actually wanted to place it. So it's going there. Right. We want to use a bit of this, the back of this. We'll just put a strip, again, just where the fold line of the map was. Just take a bit of that. So don't forget to look at the back of your maps. Maybe we'll put it here. No, it's the same length. I don't want to do the same length. Put it at the top there. So that's what's going to be happening on my Friday. And Saturday, I don't think we've got anything on. Not that I can recall or that we've planned. But yeah, I'm not really focused yet on, it's a bit far away to be worrying about what we're doing at the weekend. There's no events that I know of, let's put it that way. No commitments or anything. So it might just be a relaxing day at home. Again, it will probably depend on the weather. So if it's yucky or not conducive to photographing on Friday, maybe Saturday might be better and we could take a trip down to the beach or something. Right. Let's just put a bit of that there, I think. I love these bus timetables because the back of them's all numbers, columns and columns of numbers, times, you know. So that's fun to use in collage as well. Oops, glue stick fell over. Now that's, oh well, that's all right. We'll just stick it on anyway. So how did I end up with it? Way too big. Wasn't paying attention. No, I wasn't. And maybe we'll put it, it's got a little funky edge there where it was folded. Put another bit there. And then Sunday, do we have anything on Sunday? I don't think so. I think just normal stuff on Sunday. Church and relaxing afternoon. And recording my video, of course. Whoops, that's crooked as. Let's straighten it up. There we go. Yeah, so likely our weekend's going to be quite relaxed and low-key, which will be good because it's going to be busy. Today's Wednesday, so it's my first day for the food bank of the week, and we've got lots of parcel requests. I've got parcels to do today and tomorrow, so it's going to be busy. So I'm going to be tired both tonight and tomorrow after food bank work, and then out all day Friday. I'm going to be tired, so yeah, relaxing weekend sounds just the ticket. Just what the doctor ordered. Just pop that there, I think. Just change my blue page. Oh, do I want... No, I want the colours. I quite like all that blue. That's quite nice. But we'll go with the colours. I must say I'm quite impressed with this glue stick so far. I have high hopes now that I've used it a few times that it will actually service me well and save me a lot of money. Okay, so I've got a strip here. What do I want there? Maybe we do look for some blue. We haven't used part of the nature book maps. Let's use one of those. Actually, maybe this blue bit at the top. And these are double-sided as well, so you can pick and choose. Gives you extra patterns to play with. It's sort of shiny paper, so I'm not going to keep it for stamping on. Just want to get some of this blue pattern. I think that's quite pretty. Blue and white. And we can use this bit as well. It's got the green on it. Oh my goodness. I think I made myself yawn by talking about how tiring it's going to be for the rest of the week. Talk myself into it, being tired. And I've got quite a bit of computer work that I need to get done this week as well. So that's kind of putting the pressure on a bit. I was all set to start recording at like 7:30 this morning. I was like, all right, let's get into it. Let's get ahead of the game. And then hubby called me from the car. He'd only just backed out of the driveway to let me know that Snuggles was being a pain for Kelly and stopping Kelly coming home. So I had to walk down the street. I called Kelly and Snuggles came out. So I picked Snuggles up and then I kept calling Kelly and then Kelly came out. And so I encouraged her to keep walking. And then Snuggles wanted to jump out of my arms and create havoc. So I put Snuggles down over a fence, over someone's fence, the neighbour's fence, picked Kelly up, and then Puss arrived. And so Kelly was looking at him warily as we walked past, and she was a bit stressed. And then we got closer to home, and I put her down on the ground so she could run inside where she was a bit less stressed, and I fed her. But then she just wanted cuddles. So I had to give her cuddles. No, I didn't have to. I could have put her down, but knowing, you know, she'd been a bit stressed, my dear beautiful girl. So I gave her some attention and some love. And now she's up in the cat bed. Just Snuggles can be a right brat. She's definitely better than she was, but like she needs to keep improving, because it's not nice to stop your sister coming home for breakfast. It's not very sisterly, is it? I'm talking about cats. Did I make that clear? I may not have made that clear. I'm talking about our cats. We've got 3. You might have guessed that from the name Puss, that I was talking about cats. But yes, I neglected to actually say what I was actually referring to. Just looking for something different for this gap. Maybe a bit of this one. It's got different colours in. Don't think I'm going to keep these bits. I mean, I've got plenty more in the book if I need it. I'm just got to draw the line on my scraps somewhere. There's still bits of map on that one, so I won't throw that bit out. Just taking off the white, and then we'll get to tearing off a piece that's the right size. Okay, so strip in there. I'll put it's more of a tealy blue, but I'll put it around the other way. Down there like that. As I compose the collage, I'm also looking at creating interesting lines that don't all meet up, so that when we hide the seams that we've got more interest, not just straight, you know, lines that match up, because I think that's not quite as pretty. Let's put a strip of that along there. About there, I think. Yep. Sorry, gluing off to the side, it's just easier than moving my book backwards and forwards, which I have been doing a bit on the video, but okay, so we've almost done. Need a piece here of something. That's the same map as this, but I am going to actually put it there. And definitely for this particular technique that we're going to be doing, you want straight edges. So don't go with the raggedy torn all over the show, because it's going to be a little bit difficult to do the next phase if you've got weird shapes. So stick with the rectangle for this one. Put that bit in there. Nice bit of green. And if you end up with gaps in between your bits, you know, very narrow gaps, don't worry about it, because the next phase will deal to that. And it won't be an issue. About a bit more texty. We had another texty one. Where's that one gone? This one, the one with the pink on. We haven't used any of that. Let's go with a bit of this. It's got a lot of words on it, because it's the UK. It's a lot of places in a small area. I always have this impression that England is a lot bigger than what it actually is. But land-wise, it's not actually that big. Oh, London, right there. need it, I don't need it quite that wide, so we'll just take a little strip off. And I'm going to sacrifice the strip. It's actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to put it in my collage phone book. That will be an interesting little snippet in my collage phone book. In fact, I'm going to do that before we move on with the next stage, because I've mentioned it a few times, but you may not have seen what I'm talking about before if you're new. So let me grab it out and we'll pop that little snippet, and we've got this little bit of bus one that can go in there. Maybe we'll even put that one in there. Yep, and the rest can go back in my scraps. They are big enough to keep hold of. I'm just kind of sorting here. So this is my collage phone book. It is literally an old phone book from 2019-2020, and I just put little bits of scraps. So this is washi tapes, little pieces of washi tape. This is wallpapers. It's not quite finished yet. Plain bits, strips of scrapbook paper, strips of plain papers, strips of patterned papers. There's actually some map bits in there. And I just put scraps in. This is foil paper, again not finished. Plain papers. So those little scraps that you don't know what to do with or are just annoying. This one's a blend of bits and pieces. Do we want to put map in there? Which side? Yep, definitely that side. Okay, let's pop that there. And I tend to have kind of a theme with each one, types of papers or shapes. So like those plain paper ones are good for backings, so I can then go in and collage the other side with whatever. Sometimes I'll go a colour theme. That one's actually finished, that one's finished, that one's finished. Like there's waste from punching out shapes out of scrapbook paper, you know, all sorts of bits and pieces. That one's not finished. This is neutrals, book page type texty bits. That one's, oh, that's got a little gap there, and then that one's done. No, it's not right for that, so it will stay undone for now. Yeah, so that's just what I do. This is strips. It's all kind of rectangles, so let's put that bit there. So I don't work like fill a page and move on to the next. I'm all over the place in it. There, and this wee strip can probably go here as well somewhere, maybe along the edge. Yep, let's pop it there. So really good way to use up all your little bits. I'm actually going to put it up at the top. Oh, there's a, no, it's ripped. So I'm going to change and go this way. Use up your little bits that, you know, you don't know what else to do with, or they're just floating around your desk or what have you. If you don't have a phone book, you could easily use any magazine or catalogue, newspaper even. If you've got a small newspaper that's stapled together or something, you know, whatever you've got, it will all work. And why I like the phone book is the pages are super easy to tear out. So as you want one, you just tear it out and work with it. And it keeps them all nice and safe and flat. And, you know, because sometimes our things get a bit crumpled, don't they? We do them and then they sort of float around. Even if they've got a place, they get a bit damaged over time. In the book, they're kept nice and secure and safe. Okay, so we have our beautiful map masterboard. I am really liking this. I haven't done a map masterboard before, just to let you know. And here's the strips of my faux washi made just with a plain bit of A4 blue copy paper. I can make more if we need it, if we run out. I have 7 strips, should be fine. So the idea here is to cover all the joins. So I'm just looking for the longest. I don't know if we've got a, maybe we'll go this one. And I'm just going to cut it down to size. Peel the backing off. This is going to be the annoying bit, is peeling the backings off. But use what you've got. If you don't want to go to the bother of making faux washi, you have multiple other options. Right, so pop that there. It's not straight, it's okay. And you just basically cover over every join where maps meet together. And it's really cool. I love the effect of it. So bear with me as I go through trying to peel all the backings off as we do this. So if you have any issues like gaps where the masterboard's not covered, or something that's not straight or a bit raggedy or not glued down properly, this will also fix all of that. It will hide it all. It'll keep everything nicely down in place and cover any issues you might have. So I'm kind of stepping this, stepping it along, which is quite fun. Not something I did last time, I don't think. It's slightly different, and you'll have little bits left over if you're using faux washi. Keep those because they can be added to your collage phone book if you're keeping one of those. And you don't even have to glue it, you can just stick it on with the double-sided tape. Or you might end up with a little piece where you just need to do a little patch of the seam covering. So they're still very useful. Now that end is straighter, so I'm going to flip it around. So a bit hard to see how it's all going to look just yet, because I've been quite random where I've been placing tapes. No, the other one's not going to be quite long enough. I was looking at the little piece I had left over. So hidden seams, I think that's a pretty okay term. I can't think of anything better. If you can think of any better term for the technique, let me know. Take that one through to there. Actually, do I want to do this bit first? I think I want to do this bit first. I think the blue is going to work quite nicely for what I've got going on here. But you could make, if you're going to make faux washi tape, you could make it out of a patterned paper, a plain paper, book page, like black and white book page would give an interesting contrast. You could use maps, but I think it would tend to get too much, too busy. So I'd probably not use maps for the faux washi. I think you want some sort of contrast going on, whether it's pattern or texture. So I am thinking about placement and how long I need to put the pieces so that it kind of looks nice when it's finished. So this little bit might be a bit long for this gap, but we can cut it down, or we can just overlap it. Let's just overlap it. It'll save a little bit of extra time. It's going to be a little bit thicker in places, which is fine. Texture. There we go. Put that all the way across there. So my 7 strips used about half the width of the copy paper, just to give you an idea. And we'll see whether we need to cut any more or not. Can't see where I'm lining it up to. Right, is that bit? No, it's just a fraction too short. That's a shame. Okay, let's finish off from this point. Just want to line it up there, I think. You could also do a border right round if you want. I'm not going to, because we're going to be chopping it up, which means you'll have other edges without the tape on. So you could always, probably if you want to edge it with the washi, we're just going to call it washi, then I would chop it up, then edge it, so that you've got all the edges the same. That's probably what I would do. Okay. Got lots of small lengths on this, which is quite fun. And just be careful when you place that you're actually covering the join, because if you accidentally put it too far one way, then your join's not covered. I mean, not the end of the world. Don't panic if that happens. Just pay a little bit of attention and you should be sweet. I think I might go this way. Oh, can't cut cat-handed like that. That would have been a nightmare, I think. Would not have gone well. Serious business peeling off the tape. Makes me go quiet. So this, you know, where you have little bits that don't meet up nicely, I just think add extra interest. So even if the glue stick wasn't going to hold all these bits down nicely, the tape is going to. But on the other side where I've done the neutral papers, that's not going to have these strips, so we'll be able to see whether that glue stick works well on the other side. Okay, just bit by bit. That one was too short, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Okay, a little bit down here. Sorry if I'm casting a lot of shadow. It's a very dull day today. It's, yeah, very overcast and just grey, and it's warm outside, cold inside because there's no sun getting through. But yeah, it's just very dull. One of those dull days. So even though I've got the curtains open, there's not any extra light coming in. And it's probably actually just causing more shadow more than anything. Is this bit long enough for that section? No, it's not. It's all right. Probably for, oh, actually, let's pop it there. It's not straight. I haven't been doing a good job on cutting the ends straight. That one's not straight either. And if you're overlapping, it doesn't really matter because you'll hide that it's not straight. Sometimes, not all the time. Right, and I think I'll do this little section here as well. Yeah, not good at cutting it like that, cutting it straight. I think I am, and then I cut it and look at it and it's like that's not straight. Let's do this bit over here since we're in this area. So it may pay to start at one end and kind of work your way. I'm a bit all over the show on this one, whichever you find easier. I think possibly you might get a better finish if you start at one end and work your way, but it's all right. Just flipping around so I've got a straighter edge to work with. So what do you think? How do you think it's shaping up? Do you like the effect? Are you going to give it a go? I hope somebody does. It would be really cool if somebody gave it a go. Let's go to there, I think. It's fun coming up with different ways to do a masterboard. Because sometimes I find masterboards feel a bit same. Like it's just take some scraps, put them on a page and cut it up. You know, they are always different and unique and individual, every single masterboard that you do. But yeah, I just find that sometimes it's like, get a bit bored. It's like, I want something a bit more creative. So that's how I came up with this idea of the Masterboard Challenge. Just to give some different ideas to stretch us. Yes, we'll still be doing all those wonderful, beautiful masterboards that are just using up our scraps or coordinated to go with a particular journal. We'll never not do those, but this just gives us something a little fun to kind of have a go at. Oops, I didn't cut that or place it properly, so cut off the little overhang. Peel it off my scissors. Okay, where were we up to? So let's do this section here. So I've got 3 full strips left, so we're using quite a few, which is fine. used 4 and we're now into the 5th strip. Okay, so that's all done around there. So here, I think maybe I'll put a strip across there first. Pays to have fingernails. It does. My fingernails are slowly growing back and getting stronger, but I was bagging up pretzels yesterday and broke one because I was doing it by hand, and it was like, oh, just when they're starting to recover and look okay again, and then I broke one because they're using my hands to bag up pretzels. And no, it wasn't for the food bank. Don't worry. It was just a giant box of pretzels that I was putting into individual bags, and yeah. My fingernail decided it wasn't going to stand up to the treatment. But overall, they're faring better, although food bank usually is not too kind on them. So we'll see after today and tomorrow whether they suffer. I'm just going to go ahead and do this bit here. And then we've just got this section in here and we're done. So it doesn't take too long. Oops, I didn't make that one, put that one down, but it's okay. It's a little bit short. That's, talking of short, that's too short for that gap, but I think pretty perfect for that gap. Come on. Oh, it's so annoying. There we go. Sometimes getting a grip on the wee corner to peel it off is what I find difficult. Lovely. Okay. Do that bit there. There's this little bit, it would fit there, but I think I'm just going to put one strip down like that. Yep, I am. So I won't need that little bit. I'll actually take it up to there, just to take that kink out. I don't mind the kinks, but I've got an opportunity to take one of the kinks out, so I'm going to take it. And what I mean kink is where the tape doesn't line up, the faux tape. Come on. I think I've been doing too much of this and my fingers are going, I don't like doing this too often. Come on. There we go. Gotcha. and I think we are done. We are. So we've got one full strip of washi left out of the 7 that I made, and then one like 3/4 piece and one small scrap. So let's just put this in our phone book to get it out of the way. So let's go to that one we were working on, this one with the strips and the rectangles. The leftover bits of tape, the longer pieces, I will just put in my faux washi folder to be used for something else. Let's just pop it there. Done. It's now taken care of. Just so handy. So there is the masterboard for October. So maps is the theme and hidden seams is the technique. So I hope you can give it a go. I'd love to see what you make. If you do participate, you can tag Monthly Masterboard on Instagram. You can pop it into the Facebook group Visual Vibes. I'd absolutely love to see what you do with and what yours looks like and what you choose for your tape, whatever you go with. Take care, my friends. Have a great weekend coming up. I'll be back again tomorrow with the Marguerite Miller Challenge. Yeah, other than that, I'll see you Monday. Bye, my friends.